Hello everyone, this is a short lecture video series in which we will discuss various topics related to geography, and in this lecture we will discuss landforms. In landforms we will discuss types of mountain, and in types of mountain we will discuss fold mountains, block mountains, volcanic mountains, residual mountains, and after that we will discuss volcanism, volcanic landforms, fluvial landforms, marine landforms, karst landforms, desert landforms, and at last we will discuss lakes and types of lake. Starting with types of mountain, plateaus and plains, let us start. A landform is a feature on the earth's surface which is formed naturally and is often has a shape like a valley or mountain. Endogenic forces and exogenic forces can create a lot of landforms. Now let me make you understand what does this endogenic force and exogenic force means. Endogenic forces are the pressures that originate inside the earth, therefore are called internal forces. These internal forces can lead to vertical and horizontal movement and result in subsidence, landform upliftment, volcanism, faulting, folding and earthquake. And exogenic forces are the external forces that draw their power from the earth's exterior or arises within the earth's atmosphere. Exogenic processes are direct result of stress induced in earth's material due to various forces that come into existence due to sun's heat. Now, mountains, hills, plateaus and plains are four major types of landform, and minor landform includes canyons, valleys and basins. Now, starting with mountains, a mountain is a large landform that rises above the surroundings land in a limited area, usually in the form of peak. A mountain is generally steeper than a hills. Mountain erodes slowly through the action of rivers, weather conditions and glacier. A few mountains are isolated summits, but more occur in a huge mountain ranges. The mountains on the basis of their mode of formation can be classified into fold mountain, block mountain, volcanic mountain and residual mountain. Starting with fold mountain, fold mountains are formed as a result of compression of tectonic plates. Now friend, before moving forward, let us understand what does this tectonic plate means. According to plate tectonic theory, a lithosphere is believed to have been broken into fragments that are floating on a ductile layer called asthenosphere, upper part of mantle, and the lithosphere includes the crust and the top mantle with its thickness range varying between 5 to 100 km in oceanic plates and about 200 km in continental plates. That is, we have two types of plate known as continental plates and other is oceanic plate. Okay, now as we move forward, we have studied two types of plate. This plate shows three types of motion known as divergent, convergent and transform plate boundaries. That is, if two plates are present, the one which is coming towards each other are known as convergent, the moving away from each other is known as divergent, and moving in a shear direction are termed as transform boundaries. Okay, when two plates move away from each other, following features are generated: mid-oceanic ridge, we also call this Moore, Rift Valley and Fissure volcanoes. And when convergence takes place, following three possibilities arises. There might be convergence of oceanic and continental convergence, there might be convergence of oceanic plate convergence, and there might be convergence of continental plate convergence. And when this continental plate converges, this gives the formation of fold mountain. As we can study here, continental convergence is formed between two continental plates. When the plate converges, oceanic sediments are squeezed and upthrust between the plates, and these squeezed sediments appear as fold mountain along the plate margins. Suppose if two continental plates converges towards each other, this gives the formation of fold mountain. Fold mountain is based on the location, as these mountains are predominantly situated along the margin of continents, with the margin being close to ocean. Formation of fold mountain, as previously discussed, fold mountains are formed after two continental tectonic plates move towards each other and collide at destructive plate boundaries, also known as convergent boundaries, leading to the development of mountain ranges. Example of fold mountains: the most famous mountain range in the world, the Himalayas, are young fold mountains when viewed in a geological time frame, as they are less than 15 million years old. The Andes mountain in South America. Now moving on to the next is the block mountain. Block mountain is defined as the result of faulting caused by tensile and compressive force motored by endogenetic forces coming from within the earth, also known as fault block mountains. Suppose this one is the block if compression force or tension force acts on it, a fault is generated, and when this fault is generated, the block relative to other block either moves upward direction or moves downward direction. The blocks which has moved upwards is known as host, and the block which has moved downward is known as graben. It has been written over here, the block mountains are caused by the fault in the crust, a plane where rocks have moved past each other. When the rocks on one side of the fault rises relative to other, it can form a mountain. The uplifted blocks are block mountains or host, and the intervening dropped blocks are termed as graben, as explained over here. Now moving on to the next is the volcanic mountain. As the name suggests, volcanic mountains are formed by volcanoes. Volcanic mountains are formed when molten rocks, magma, deep within the earth erupts and piles up the surface. Magma is called lava when it breaks through the earth's crust. When the ash and lava cools, it builds as a cone of rock. Rock and lava pile up layer on top of layer. Types of volcanic mountains are cinder cone mountain, shield volcanoes, a stratovolcano, or composite volcano. Cinder cone mountains are made up of material blasted out that rains back down. They don't usually grow too large. Shield volcanoes are built up by many lava flows of low viscosity lava. Low viscosity means that it flows more easily. The lava can flow for dozens of kilometers, and the volcano can be very wide. A stratovolcano or composite volcano is made up of many layers of ash, rocks, and hardened lava. Some of the largest, most impressive volcanoes in the world are stratovolcano. Formation of volcanic mountains such as volcanic activity is also seen in ocean, wherein the build-up of volcanic matter continues for years together and finally result in the formation of island when it breaches the ocean surface. Example of volcanic mountain are Mount Fuji in Japan and Mount Vesuvius in Italy. The Mount Fuji in Japan, famous symbol for Japan, last erupted in 1707, and Mount Vesuvius in Italy was buried under its eruption in year 39. The following things which have been discussed above can be explained with the help of example. Suppose this one is the lava which haven't come outside the surface of the earth is termed as magma. As it will come out on the surface of the earth, it will termed as lava. The pipe through which volcanic lava comes out can be termed as cinder cone, and this inactive volcano fumaroles which haven't erupted but might erupt. Now moving on to the next is the residual mountain. A residual mountain are those mountains that has been eroded by the agent of degradation such as winds, rains, forest, and running water. The hard rock that are left behind are called residual mountains. Formation of residual mountains are formed from already existing mountains that are lowered or reduced by agent of denudation such as running water, ice, and winds. The Aravalli mountain and the Parasnath mountain of Jharkhand belongs to this type. Example of residual mountains are the Nilgiri hills, the Parasnath hills, Rajmahal hills, and Aravalli range.